Farmer Brandon and Farmer Brandon's special cows, his chickens, pigs, goats, his turkeys who roam the Satsuma orchards, along with his folk art, his dogs, his bus. Let me rewind a bit and just let Brandon tell his tale.
I grew up in Metro Atlanta in Stone Mountain. I like to grow stuff, and I started a garden, and then I got bees. This was in Metro Atlanta, and then eventually I rented some property in Reedsville, which is about an hour inland from here. We're in Camden County now. And then I bought this down here, and here I am all these years later.
You have turkeys.
I do have turkeys.
In an orchard of Satsuma.
In an orchard of Satsuma. I do turkeys every Thanksgiving. I do meat chickens, I do hens for eggs. Obviously Satsumas, these are all organic. I do a garden where I'll do greens and tomatoes and cucumbers, stuff like that. Do cows and then hogs. Oh, and garlic. I grow a lot of garlic here.
Keep the vampires away.
I try to keep the vampires away. What I've learned here is that I work with what this place gives me. I grow what I grow because I enjoy growing things. I don't really care what it is. I love to grow things, whether it's a cow or a satsuma or a garlic or a mustard green or whatever. But you work with what the weather gives you, what the dirt gives you, and sort of hone in on it.
Now, when I arrived, I wasn't quite sure what I was going to witness. I knew from his social media pages that he was an excellent writer and his followers love him. But still, I really didn't know who or what to expect as I meandered alone down this old dirt road. But what I found upon arrival was a kind, humorous, down-to-earth guy who simply loves what he does. So, Brandon guided me on our walk through what in his words is a magical place full of beauty and life. You got some friends here. The turkeys seem to trust you.
Yeah, the turkey, well, you know, when you feed, when you're the feeder, you know, they the Pied Piper, man, yeah. You know. Some people wonder, isn't it sad when you have, you know, that it becomes meat? And I'm like, no, it's not sad, because look, they get an incredible life, living a natural life. They have one bad moment and one marginal day. Yeah, they trust me, and one day they'll trust me with a knife in my hand. Everything here moves around, except the satsumas don't move, but a lot of the crops, they move to different parcels. I range animals to fertilize, to improve the dirt, right? And then I plant behind them. So right now you got lettuce, you got cabbage, you got some kale, you got Swiss chard over there, you got mustard green, Southeast Georgia favorite. These are satsumas. These were actually the first thing I put in here. This was like all woods, and then me and a buddy of mine, Joe Syme, came in, cleared where you see these 80 trees, put them in. There was no fence, there was no water, there was no power, there was nothing. There was just them surrounded by scrubby woods. These are all organic. Now what I do is I graze animals through here. Like right now I have turkeys in here. Sometimes I have my hens in here. Sometimes I have meat chickens in here. I graze cattle. You know, where literally cows come through, they're grazing around the trees. So when the cows come through, they'll eat it, you know, down, way down. We have bears here, we have Florida panthers, we have coyotes, we have bobcats.
That's a lot of predators.
Yes. When this was more frontier and I would try to push hens to the outskirts of this place, they would get decimated. And so eventually I built this fence, then I can open this up and let them go out. This is a good bit. This is about 400 or so. What they need is a roost and shelter. And so I have all the nest boxes. This is where the hens want to lay the eggs. Just get the eggs.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, I already got eggs this morning. There's one in here. I always think that I should write about this. There's a lot of funny things about a chicken, about the mind of a chicken. Not all these boxes will have eggs in them. Some boxes will have a bunch of eggs, and then some boxes never have an egg. Like this box here, for example, never has eggs in it. I don't know why. It's like the mind of a chicken.
Yeah.
But the funniest thing to me about them is they see me every day. Every day I get their eggs, every single day. And every day for them, as I'm getting the eggs in the morning, it's as if this has never happened before. And I'm always thinking, we've done this. Every day I'm grabbing your eggs, and every day you're acting like you've never seen me before. You know, they're jumping out. It's crazy, it's pandemonium. I'm pulling them out, and I'm like, we do this dance every single day. But we get these really, really great eggs. They have good yolks, and I get to range the hens out when I want. I sell eggs for $5 a dozen. I mean,
I'm coming to you. Yeah, that's.
This is where I'll plant the garlic for this year. So you plant garlic here in late November, early December. I do an heirloom variety of garlic. I do a lot of it. I do it every single year. I love growing garlic. It's so good. But this is fallow right now, but you can see that, see, I've had cows in here. So, just old. You ever had anybody pick up a cow turd on TV?
No, that's first. That's first. Seen him step in it. Yeah, it looks
See,
good.
it's old. See, it just smells like dirt. I've written a lot about manure. The thing is that, think of manure like this. America, before European settlers, was a land of bison, including down here. And so as bison graze, then they're followed by birds. But as bison are grazing the grass, bison are depositing manure. And you had exceptional dirt. And you don't get new dirt without manure. You have to have it, and that's how dirt gets rich. So when I range them and I move them, they come into a place where there's going to be garlic grown. They're depositing their manure back, and they change the structure of the soil. You graze cows, you graze chickens, and then when you plow this up, it's just black dirt, man. It's beautiful dirt.
Oh,
As you can see, you know, like super, just really, really good dirt. And good dirt is good for you. When you harvest garlic, you plant it in late November, early December, and then you harvest garlic in May or maybe the first part of June. So to cure garlic, you leave the stalk on, you have the bulb, and then you lay it. It has to be in a dry spot to get some draft. What you'll see when I first harvest this is like tons of garlic laid out like this in lines going up that way. There's tons of varieties of garlic, not all of which will do well here. This variety does well, but there's garlic that's, you know, spicy, there's garlic that's mild. This one is like a good, strong garlic flavor. It's not spicy. This one's called enchilada, and it does really, really well here. It does smell good. Okay, so these are hogs here. Pigs are naturally curious. I was gonna tear off a piece of garlic.
And they know it too.
Let's see if they ate it, you know? The key to the whole electric paddock system with pigs is that they have to be trained to resist. It's just a psychological barrier. Obviously, the pig, if he had the wherewithal to get shocked one time, he could get out, he could flee and never come to Grassroots Farms ever again, right? But this is where they eat, and by doing this, I can move them. And that's the beauty of the electric fence system. And so they'll root it all up. When I first put them here, it looked like that right there behind you. It's exactly what it looked like. The French call it terroir. People talk about it with wine, like how a place can impart some sort of flavor, but I don't understand why we don't talk about it more with why Georgia shrimp are so good, why Georgia pork can be so good, why Georgia beef can be so good. It's romantic sounding, but I really do think that it imparts something in the, now they like to nibble on my Crocs. You see this, Joker? And it's the same thing as the turkeys. They get a good life, and the meat is exceptional. These are Pine Woods cows. So these are like the historic cow of Georgia. Older people will look at them and say, God, these are the cows that we had when we were little. You know, they have horns, they're protective, that whole Bartram thing, the Bartram Trail. When he came through North Camden, he rode huge herds of horned cows, and that's what North Camden, you know, historically was.
So who brought these?
Spanish. And then became feral cows, and they're more resistant to a lot of things. So like parasites and stuff, they have good genetics. They're just small.
What is their meat like?
Oh, it's great. Pine Woods meat is exceptional. It's sweet, It's really, really nice. They have good fat. They're not overly fatty. It's about an 85-15, something like that. And they're also really great with the Angus. You know, if you cross an Angus on pine woods with the calf, it's half and half. They're really, really nice. And so these are a cross. These are pine woods. That's their mothers over there. Pine woods Angus. You know, there's breeds of livestock that are rare, breeds of livestock that are endangered, breeds of livestock that are extinct. And pine woods cows are certainly in the endangered category. And really the irony of that is the only way that you can really save them is to have an economic incentive to eat them. And they're a magical animal to me.
This was a memorable experience and a place of which I'd love to return. There's that feeling of watching a guy farm the way it used to be and the way it could be for many others. Grassroots.